So I've been having a sort of allergic reaction to stupidity lately, and the only cure is to make a video on it so all of you can agree with me in the comments and make me feel better about the world, right? Because as it stands, when I see a video like this and all I see are thumbs up and people writing positive, nice comments and taking this shit seriously and thinking that he actually has something worth hearing to say, that makes me that's where I get that reaction. So we've got to bring a little bit of sanity into the community. We got to bring a little bit of intelligence back into the game. And my printer's out of ink. Don't feel like going to get ink. Actually, I don't ever want to print anything because that shit costs way too much money. I know you guys have grown fond of the pieces of paper that I hold up while I do these types of videos, but you guys are just going to have to make do. I will be reading my quick little essay from the screen of this laptop. Let us begin. I don't generally watch forneworld's videos because the guy can't speak. He used to make really short videos because he has nothing worth hearing to say. He just needed to get a video up fast so he could get views when people search for the chapter or episode in the title. And then, over time, he got cues from people like King of Lighting that people like more analytical, longer videos. So now he attempts to do longer analytical videos. But the problem is, of course, that he is just completely incapable of doing that, because he still has nothing worth hearing to say. Why is that, you might ask? Well, it's because he knows nothing. He does not have exceptional knowledge about whatever he's talking about, and there is nothing special about how he constructs and delivers his ideas, unless we're talking special ed. So, what is the result? Well, I checked out his latest asinine discussion entitled, "Every Lead Character Doesn't Need to Be Goku." It is an 11-minute long discussion video where he runs around in circles, repeating the same premise over and over, along with fluff. He loves fluff, like whatever the case may be, things of that nature, and time again, because he sucks at presenting specific examples and using them to delve deeper into what he is talking about. Instead, he brings up examples only to backpedal every 10 seconds to make sure that people understand that he is not actually insulting One Piece or Naruto, and he still loves One Piece and Naruto, and whatever the case may be. Most of his sentences sound like this. Don't get me wrong, guys, whatever the case may be, One Piece is one of the greatest series ever, and things of that nature, but not every character needs to be like Goku time and time again. You will hear that from him a lot.
Now, if you've been watching and reading shonen anime and manga enough, then you kind of know what Shonen Jump in particular likes to fit their mold into. They have a certain mold of what type of series they put into their magazine. Now, obviously, they all have their own premise and things of that nature, but something that I've noticed and I've seen time and time again, which is kind of annoying, at the same time it's cool for the character, but ultimately it's like, you need a breath of fresh air. You can't always do the same thing because then eventually it gets stale and the idea or the mold gets stale as well. And that's that every main character of a shonen series does not need to be or shouldn't be a Goku clone, or like Goku for that matter, because that is Shonen Jump what they like to do. They like to make the kind of Goku style of silly, likes food, likes to fight, or likes to be on their mission, whatever it may be, and it's kind of always that same mold. Luffy is very similar. Obviously, Luffy has his distinct differences, and Luffy is a lot more Luffier.
Because I feel bad for everybody who watches forneworld's videos, because they surely lose some IQ points and get misinformed every time, I figured I would do a response to this video.
We love Dragon Ball, we love One Piece, we love Naruto, we love those characters, but we're in 2017 and I think it's fine and it's okay to change, and innovation is a great thing. It could lead to some great and amazing stories if Shonen Jump stops the same formula that they continue to stick with. Now, I'm not going to say entirely that this is the reason why other genres in general are starting to become more mainstream. I think a lot of that has to do with the audience growing up already and wanting something a little bit edgier or mature, whatever you want to call it. But I definitely think that's had a severe impact on things, is that when you get older, you look back and you're like, okay, I love this for what it was, and I still love this for what it is. Dragon Ball Super continuing, like I mentioned beforehand, One Piece, etc., etc. But they see that and they're like, well, that kind of doesn't fit me anymore. I want something a little bit, more complex, so to speak, which there's nothing wrong with enjoying both. Personally, I love both. I can read a volume of Vagabond or Berserk or whatever the case may be, and then I can read my One Piece and my Naruto. Not that One Piece isn't, because One Piece is a little bit of an exception to the rule, but nevertheless, I can read both. But the thing is, some people, they're like, I've had enough of that. I want something different. And that's a lot, again, due to the fact that Shonen Jump refuses. Kind of like, if you think of it in a way, if you're like into video games, think of Nintendo, for example. I think Toei is perfectly, symmetrically, the anime studio version of Nintendo, where they might change some things. They might try their best to get hip to the times, but some things they refuse to change. And again, look at some of the latest series that are blowing up in Shonen Jump. While I love them and I think they're awesome and they are trying different things, they still stick with some similar aspects. And that's the whole, they gotta be like Goku. They gotta have that similar formula. They gotta have the Goku. They gotta have the Vegeta, Hiei. They gotta have that same formula. And I think over time, it's slowly starting to show people don't want that anymore.
It's 2017 is not a valid reason or argument for anyone to do anything. You compare Shonen Jump to Nintendo and say both of these companies are stuck in the past. They refuse to change. Do you want me to tell you what the real problem is? Do you want me to shed some light on what the real problem is for you, Mr. forneverworld? Your dumb ass doesn't like Nintendo anymore, yet you keep buying Nintendo products. Your dumb ass is tired of Shonen Jump manga, yet you keep reading Shonen Jump manga expecting something different. No, Shonen Jump doesn't change every main character in every series submitted to them to be like Goku. That's not what actually happens. That's not the problem. Yes, Shonen Jump manga all have a similar base. They all fit a mold because those are the types of series they want in their magazine. And what is that type of series? Inspiring stories about friendship and hard work. Yes, like you said, targeted towards who? forneverworld. That's a very important thing that you left out of your video. Who is the target demographic for Shonen Jump? Oh, I think it's male children. Boys, little kids. You are reading manga coming from a child's magazine, expecting something more mature. Do you want more mature, edgy manga that doesn't conform to the same fucking Shonen Jump mold? Then don't read Shonen Jump manga. It's that simple. You actually think that Jump should change their entire target demographic and start releasing more complex, mature manga because your fat ass finally grew up a little? You finally grew up, and now you want everything to fucking change for you. You keep buying Super Mario games, and you're complaining that Super Mario isn't Fallout 4. If you want Fallout, play Fallout. You fucking numbskull. There is no reason for Jump to completely change their formula because it still works. It still reaches their intended demographic. The types of stories intended for young boys are still great stories for young boys. Jump isn't trying to appeal to some brown Jinbei motherfucker in America who is finally grown up enough to want something that isn't the typical shonen. They're appealing to children. And that's something you have in common, just like you. You appeal to children. You speak like a toddler. Your video is absolute garbage.
Be Son Goku, because Son Goku, amazing character, love him. He started something which maybe was out there before him, but he definitely popularized the whole concept of being silly, pure of heart, hungry, liking to fight, etc., etc. But that shouldn't be the case.
Why shouldn't it be the case that the main character of a shonen battle manga is fun and likes to fight? There is a reason why Goku clones are so prominent. That's because it works. It works for the genre. If you want something different, stop reading a children's magazine.